Right, welcome. Black people have a culture that does not allow them to commit mistakes, does not allow them to misbehave in the society, does not allow them to become bad people or to become gangsters or to become criminals in the society. How black kids are raised compared to how white kids are raised, very two different things. It is not even the same. Like it is not even anywhere close. Black people have a culture that allows them to grow up as very much constructive people in the society. Black people have a culture that does not allow them to misbehave around or grow up to become people who are useless and all that. Black parents are very super parents, very nice parents. Who knows? And they've copied from their ancestors, from their parents, from their grandparents. Yeah. And it is, I think it is moving from generation to generation, following the bloodline, all that. It's a black culture. It is happening in Africa, and we can also see it with the black parents in America, the African Americans and all that. So it is a culture that is in the black community. And black people sometimes and many a times, they're always right. The problem is that people just love to dismiss the black people and dismiss the black remarks. Why? Because people feel like blacks are not supposed to be embraced, or blacks are not supposed to be like they're not supposed to be praised, or they're not supposed to be seen like they're less human. That is how people see blacks, and especially the white community. The white community view the black people in a certain way. When you listen to Dr. DeGray, you're going to understand a lot of things here. In the first part of her video, she has been explaining how black people and how the black parents are raising their children to make them become a very good people in the society, very needed people in the society. Therefore, black kids, because when you're a kid, tomorrow you're going to become an adult. And therefore, if you are raised well when you're a kid, when you become an adult, you become somebody who is also good groomed and behaving well and have good character and all that. Okay? So in the first part of her video, she has been explaining how the culture of the black people has made and kept black people, made black people the best people and wonderful people in the society and in the world. Okay, so it's a culture that we took from our parents, from our grandparents, from our grandparents, from our ancestors. It is something that is in the blood of the black community. Okay, but now I want you to watch. You see, the problem with white people, or the problem with the perspective of the white people to the black people, it is that the white people likes to see the black people as less human, people who do not deserve to be treated well, people who do not deserve to be taken care of, people who do not deserve to live well, people who do not deserve to be rich, people who deserve to be poor, who deserve to suffer. That is how they view black people. Because of the color, they feel like, these people are black, and the fact that they're black, they are less human, they cannot be compared to us. Not because black people are bad people. Not because black people are criminals, as they say. Not because blacks are gangsters, as they say. But because when they look at a black person, they don't see a human being. They see somebody who deserves to suffer, somebody who deserves not to live better, and all that. Okay? I want you to take a look at this video, the second part of his video, of how she is explaining how other people look and see black people. And then I will come back and say something at the end of it. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you're watching me for the first time. Thank you so much for always being here and for always making a stopover to this channel. As you're watching this video, prepare your thoughts. Have them shared with me in the comment section. I'll go through them and say something about it. Until then, let's take a look at the video. Right. Welcome back again. A mere hatred has been placed on the black people that it's not caused by anything. Like, just when a white person comes across a black person and looks at them, they feel like these people deserve to go through some certain problem, or they deserve to suffer, or something like that. And despite all these, blacks have been prospering. And white people are beginning to be so worried about the black adaptability and all that. How are blacks adaptive? How are blacks prospering? How are blacks nourishing? Because despite us hating them or mistreating them or making their lives difficult in this area and everywhere, hey, these guys keep on flourishing every time. What is happening? Like, how do they adapt? Yeah, how is their resilient stronger? Like, what is the way they are using to become who they are? That is why you find out that it is a point when the white community are crying because of bad or high cost of living in their countries, but the black people are just somewhere working their things out or continuing with their daily lives as normal. And then the white community would begin asking, so how are they surviving? It is because of how they grew up. It is because of how they were brought up. We were kids and we were being taught some difficult lessons when we were still young. To some point, we thought maybe our parents were our enemies. And we never wanted to be close to our parents sometimes because we thought these people are really making us go through a difficult life. You're living at your home and you're feeling like you're living in a military base because parents are very harsh. We didn't feel like these parents want good for us. But you know, it's a mind of a kid. Until you get to a certain point, you're going to agree and admit the fact that, oh, those parents were very super and to me, okay? And that is how we grew up, okay? Now, it helped us to a point. Right now, we can be able to see, so we are better people than other people. And it is because of how we were brought up. It is because of how our parents treated us that time and how they brought us up that time. Okay, many people cannot really relate, but those people who are black kids and they grew up from certain homes, from certain black homes, they can be able to relate. It really helped the black people. Black people, many a times, they don't make mistakes. They are always very right. The fact that you can see blacks being like everywhere or every time there is claims and accusations of the black community and all that, it is because of a normal hate that has been there for years. Yeah, white people hating on the black people, white people resisting on the black people, white people segregating on the black people and all that for years. It is something that they grew in it, or it is something that they came or they were molded in it. They were trained to hate the black people, not because the black people were bad, but because some few people wanted not to see the black people growing better and growing big because they fear. They saw the adaptability of these people. They saw the resilience of these people. They saw the potential capabilities of these people, how they're commanding nature and commanding authorities and things work. And they felt like if we're going to live or give this a chance, they're going to be one of the biggest a threat in our society. We're going to lack jobs. We're going to lack everything. We're going not even to have power within our own vicinities. And therefore, the only thing you can be able to do is to make these people do not grow as per how they're supposed to grow. Okay? And so, by so doing that, they decided we are going to hate or build or create health on these people just normally. Yeah? Out of nothing, let's just create or build hatred out of nothing. And that is what was happening for years. Okay? Not because the black people were bad. If you go back into the culture and if you go back in the years and try to see how blacks were brought up, how blacks used to be groomed by their parents and all that, they were groomed in a super better way to an extent that there was no room for mistakes. Maybe in 1-2 people who didn't listen, because you know, not everybody would listen to their parents, and that is maybe 1%. But 99% of the black kids who grew up and they're adults today, they were groomed in a certain better way in that there couldn't be room for mistakes. And therefore, if there are people who can do greater things in this world because of how they were brought up, should be the black people, should be the black kids who are black adults right now. But is anybody ready to give credit to the black community for what they do or for how are good. They groom themselves. They do things and all that. Nobody's ready for that. Why? Because of the arrogance and the pride of the white community. It cannot allow them to actually give credit, yeah, where it's due. And therefore, that is why you see this hatred. Not because blacks are bad, not because blacks are misbehaving. They are calling them criminals. They are calling them gangsters and all that, committing offenses and everything. You can hear them out. It is walking around here that blacks are doing, like, you don't know, like many things, okay? But is it true? Or is it just because they want to dismiss them or disqualify them in terms of some things or make them less superior? Yeah? Whites have always wanted to be superior, and therefore they are ready to go to any extent to be more superior than blacks. Yeah? They're feeling like black people are not supposed to be given some credits. They're not supposed to be placed at some point. They're not supposed to sit at some levels. Yeah? They're not supposed to be considered like to be placed or to go at great heights. They're only supposed to be placed or to remain at a certain point. That is what white people see the black people, as people who are subjected to suffering and poverty. People who are should be a victim of lack, should be a victim of cry, should be a victim. Like, that is how they see black people. Because of the color, they feel like, these poor black, they're not like us. We are superior, better than them. And that is why you see things happening to them. Even right now, as America is going through some misfortunes and all that, blacks are there just walking around, very comfortable. Why? Because to some point, nature will have to come and prove to you that. Because, you know, sometimes you do things by ignoring other things and ignoring the capability and potential of people. But a time is coming when now the nature has to prove you. Because you see, whatever is happening now, the natural calamities that are happening in the United States of America right now, it is not like by the power of a man. It is the nature that is trying now to turn on the white Americans and the white countries. And, you know, right now, the black people right now, because they aligned themselves and they groomed themselves to fit and connect to the nature, how the nature wants them to live. Right now, they don't have to struggle. They are very much resilient. They are very much adaptable. And they are connecting to everything efficiently and possibly. They don't have to struggle and all that. Not because they are better. Nobody's helping them. Have you seen anybody giving them credits or anybody taking care of them or sending money to them because of what is happening right now? No. But aren't they living better? Aren't the white people complaining that the blacks are silent when they are suffering? What do they want them to do? It is not because that it is not because of them not wanting to help. It is because they're asking, like, so why? How are they surviving? How are they flourishing even in times of calamities in our country, and we're suffering and we're crying and all that? It is because of how they groomed themselves for years. Tell me what you think in the comment section about this. I just came across this video from Dr. DeGray, and I felt like it is a very important message for me to talk about. And I just talked about it. I want you to share with me, to have your thoughts shared with me in the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read all the comments and give a response where possible. I am a presenter of the African Streamline. I'm going to ask you to subscribe if maybe you're watching for the first time, and also that notification bell, just press it, be the first person to get every episode as it really comes in. I'll really come back next time. Peace be with you.